Hello, everybody, and happy Memorial Day and long weekend. And yeah, I am okay. I was fortunate last night. There were two different tornado warned storms. One of them that was kind of going on the north, and one on the south, and that was kind of like here. But hi, Cecile. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Nelly. The thing was that I completely freaked out because, hold on, my camera is on autofocus. Because I was, we weren't supposed to have bad weather and stuff, and I was getting ready to, um, wind down for the evening. Hi, Tina. Hi, Leah. And I had fixed my couch to be comfy with my cushions, was getting ready to start a movie. And I said, let me check the radar before I lay down. Hi, Gayleen. Hi, Mary. And when I checked the radar, I said that there were tornado warnings a few miles west of me. So you can imagine that I started hyperventilating right away. Hi, Elaine. But yeah, I was, as I said, I was lucky. Other people weren't, and actually, we had even fatalities on the west side of the city, in a satellite city. So it was a very, very nerve-wracking night. And today, I hope we don't have anything, but poor people in the Oklahoma Panhandle and the Texas Panhandle and eastern Colorado and western Kansas is moderate again. Hi, Carol. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Cherry. So, hi, Doris. Once again, I recommend to you to download Aaron Tuttle's weather app. Once again, all this week, there have been messages from people that got their life saved, because they got all those uh, notifications. Let me post once again, and I will put the link again in the video description once the live is over, so you can go ahead and get it. Uh, because the app is the best weather app notification app that you can find right now on the market, and it actually warns you sometimes even 15 minutes ahead that a tornado is imminent. So yeah. The funny part was, and I'm sorry, I'm not starting yet. The funny part was that for the first time, because there was the storms were kind of like L-shaped, like this, and let me get back my image. So this part of the L, imagine this is Oklahoma City, okay, and I'm on the southeast part of town. There's the one of the highways going like this, and there was one of the tornado one storms here, one here. Well, this one kind of petered out by the time it got halfway, but it just kept trying to reform. This one did some damage here, then petered out, then tried to reform again, then petered out, and then they both reformed, and another one appeared, and then east they Tulsa was hit. But the thing is that they were coming up. They are called squall line storms and squall line tornadoes, which are very hard to warn. But then there was all this other area. So once the squall line passed, all this line of storms passed over, and the very last one was very, very noisy. And it was for the first time, hi Chris, that I actually heard Connor being scared. Seamus had hid in the closet already, but Connor started meowing very, very scared. So I had to hold him and brush him. And it was a little funny at one point because he had stopped meowing and he was purring and shivering at the same time. He was scared. Anyway, So let's get to the matter at hand. And I have to warn you ahead of time. I am not entirely sure, hi, Fran, how long I'm going to be able to be online because I wasn't able to fall asleep until quite a while after 2 a.m. And no matter how much I plan on sleeping late, my fur babies are used to be fed between 5:15 and 6 o'clock morning and evening. So by 5:30, I had three hungry beasts nudging me. So I had to get up. So I've been kind of dozing on and off, and I feel like a zombie. You can imagine. I slept not even 3 hours. Um, but hi, Ellen. Hi, Sabine. Once again, I have to say, sorry, the tutorials come a little bit slower, but as I said, my cataract seems to get worse by the day. It's advancing very fast. And now it's not so much a matter of not seeing what I'm doing. Hi, Pam. It's a matter of not seeing very well editing the videos because, yeah, I do have the large monitor now, so it's not a matter of not seeing far, it's a matter of seeing fog, and I try to use just my left eye and keep my right eye closed, but it's very tiring. So, uh, oh no, I'm good. I am good. I can do it. I just said I'm not sure how long, because it might hit me. I might narcolepsy at one point. uh, Hi, Jay. And hi, Donna, because I didn't say hi. And I might forget what I was going to say and get back to it. But what I thought a lot of you have been asking me about, oh, yeah, to finish my train of thought, the surgery is supposed to be on June 13. So about 3 weeks after that, I'll be able to see better because that's going to be a very hard 3 weeks because I'll be in between. My old eyeglasses won't work anymore, and I won't have my new eyeglasses prescription until 3 weeks after the surgery. So it's gonna be interesting. Hi Jay, hi Maria. So a lot of you have asked me repeatedly about organic jewelry. And I know that I did just a few things. It wasn't a subject that I treated a lot in the tutorials. And I kept promising that I'm going to do that. And I thought, you know what, let me just start a mini series because there are a few more things that I wanted to talk to you about. And I'm going to be very honest with you. With my sponsors, a lot of the sponsor only lives. Um, they are not so much about creating pieces, but they are a lot about theory of art, color theory, how to design, how to. So I thought of doing a short, a mini series about this to discuss a little bit about organic and to show you several um, effects and several shapes that you can use. I should be fine, but I don't want to get bored, you know. So several types of shapes for beads and focals and other things, and several types of effects that should help you. Just by knowing several of them, you can kind of mix and match and put together a nice organic piece, or just make just a focal or earrings and all that. Now, uh, number one, what we have to establish first is what is organic jewelry, because it can mean two different things. Um, on one hand, you have the organic jewelry that it's kind of like what the name suggests. Um, Looks a little bit like natural things, like plant parts or animal parts, or things seen at cellular level, things like that. Um, on the other hand, there's another meaning for organic jewelry. Organic in the sense of what comes to you to create organically. If you want your inner self, an inner expression. And it's a little bit interesting because last evening I started a mini series with my sponsors about steampunk, and all the subgenres. And because in the steampunk, the punk part is also about self-expression. But while on the punk subgenres and subgenres, you have this self-expression that is made in a very bold, in your eye um, fashion. In the organic, it is a little bit not necessarily subdued. It's more calm, more. It's not so flashy. The punk genres and subgenres, be it steampunk, be it cyberpunk, be it even the related ones, the nouveau punk, the new Victorian, and everything, is made to make people stand out. While the organic is more of holistic, of integration into the nature or into the whole world around you, and this kind of stuff. So I am going to treat in this mini series more the organic as in natural, not so much organic as in self-expression. We will talk maybe later about the organic as in self-expression, but that one is way too subjective. So that's why I thought that um, if I go more on the natural way, I can show you several patterns and several effects and several whatchamacallit, shapes that would help you design and put together various things. So today we are going to do exactly that. And I'm going to try and use as cheap as possible stuff. So even if you don't have a large budget, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to create something. So let's first do a little bit of mixed media. And I'm going to work in several separate ways so that I can get stuff to the oven to get baked. Let me get the light a little bit brighter. Um, so while some stuff bakes and I can get back to it to show you how to finish it, I can work on other things to show it to you. And my brightness here, there we go, is much better. Okay, now I'm going to use, because I had a big 1 pound brick of white and the 1 pound brick of black that were super soft, and the white is still some of that white that was, hi Janice, that was the nasty stretchy vinyl kind. But in this one we are going to make um, pod like beads and dry stuff looking like beads. And one of the easiest ways, you just get, and I'm going to work with white because I'm going to use some a paint. Hi, Witch Willow. Um, I'm going to use some paint, and I might use some more expensive stuff, but just, to show you what can be obtained. Um, but I'll try to use as much as possible cheap things. Hi, Kim. Good afternoon. And just before I start, let me tell you something, because I get again as I said, I get all kinds of messages saying, "Oh, I so like your channel and thank you so much for what you're doing." Hi, June, but I don't have money and I cannot support you very much. And let me remind you that if you, number one, if you use my affiliate links, the ones on Amazon for my Amazon store, whenever you purchase something from Amazon, if you enter Amazon through my affiliate link, whatever you purchase, I will get a small commission. You don't actually even have to purchase from my store. But what is in my store, some of them I have tried them myself. Hi, Nunya. Awesome. I am glad. I'll make more patriotic stuff after the first because I need to order a certain thing to make more patriotic stuff. Or if you purchase supplies from PolyClay Play, if you use my affiliate link, uh, on Amazon, I get my commissions on Amazon gift cards so that I can buy supplies from Amazon. And on PolyClay Play, I don't get any money. I just get credit with the store so that when I need to purchase supplies, that credit kicks in so I don't have to spend a whole bunch of money for this. And then another way that you can help me is to simply, like my videos and share them. That is very, very important. Share them on your Facebook page or whatever other media you have on Pinterest. And that really, really helps as well, because the more you share, the more my channel is known. Because remember, I do not monetize. And as I had promised from the very beginning of my channel, I do not monetize. And because I do not monetize, no matter how, I don't know, Leah, probably I did, but I don't see who purchased what. I just see the credits. So if you tell me exactly what you purchased for Amazon, for example, I can look because I can see the items for which I got the um, credit for, but I don't see who bought. That's a privacy issue. So as I was saying, no matter the fact that my videos are very well optimized and very well whatever, still YouTube will push ahead in the recommended videos and in searches videos that are monetized, obviously, because they want to make money and they make no money with me. So yeah, you can help me also by sharing my videos, my Facebook page, and so on and so forth. So let's start with making, and I was playing with this and I didn't explain. So I'm just going to get some white, and you have to be sure that you don't trap any air as usual. Thank you. Yes, and whenever you use my affiliate link, it doesn't raise your price at all. You pay the exact same price, only that I get a few cents here and a few cents there, and they add up. And for the ones of you who are on disability, you know how hard it is, and it really helps me being able to. And I have a whole list of tutorials ready. Some of them are already taped, but as I said, it's very hard for me to edit the videos. I'm getting there. I am getting there. I'm still will show you quite a bit of things. I am almost done with the faux malachite necklace, and I might do, before that, I might do a couple tutorials that don't require a lot of editing. But yeah, this is soon. And as I said, this one I'm going to make it in two parts. I'm going to make it simple like this and then kick it up another notch and add another thing here. No, I don't. I just took one cherry right before I started, because I woke up at 4 o'clock because I was in pain. So I took one. So it's every 4 hours. I took one at 12 o'clock. So we start with a bowl, and you want to make it about anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a quarter, depending on how big you want your, thank you, Savvy. um, how big you want your bead to be. And then you can start, see, by putting it in the crease of your palms, you can start and getting it a little bit tapered. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we are doing a pod. So you just taper it on both ends. One of the ends, you're gonna taper it a little bit more. And something that can always help you if you have problems pinching, as I have sometimes, uh, get an acrylic block and simply you hold it at an angle, like this would be your uh, table, and you just hold it at an angle like this, and you roll, and it's going to give you a very, very pretty tapering. See? It's very nice, very symmetrical, even if we don't really need it symmetrical. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a sculpting tool. And remember, I showed you before, this is a whole set. And you can find it in my Amazon influencer store in the tool section. Um, and I don't use all of them all the time, but I have my most favorite. That's this one, and I actually um, thinned out a little bit this part. But they can all be used for all kinds of things, including measuring when you want to add all kinds of powders and stuff. So get whatever, and these are under $10. It's a set, it's under $10, and you get a whole bunch of tools. They are actually wax carvers. So get whichever of these you want, one that's got a little bit of it is narrow, but it's also has a little bit of body. So let's get this one. And what you want to do is start making some creases. And they don't have all to be perfect. Just make some creases. And you can use the other end or another thing. Oops, you don't want them to go haywire. You want them to go pretty much straight. And another thing that you can use is, like, if you have an owl to do beads, you can use that, or a very, very thick needle, or a knitting needle, or even the end of a crochet. So what you want to do is to keep making these indentations. And you just keep making them and making them until you get them all around. The idea is that it kind of has to look like a creased dry pod of sorts. And you'll see once it is nice and colored, it will look awesome. So just do it all the way, all around. Check out. Darken it, yeah. Okay. I thought it was too dark. Is it good like this? Is it better? Oh yeah, with the white, you're right. I didn't think about that. Let me try and get it even darker. And get a little bit of zoom. Let's see. This is trying to get the best. Okay, I'm going to do this. Is it better? Okay. Now I don't see a lot. So you keep, I'm gonna just look at the monitor. You keep just making all these and as I said, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You kind of want them to be from the end of the tapering towards the tip, but once you kind of did enough of them, start making a few on the other end as well. And then use the owl or whatever other tool needle you're using and make a crease all around. Pretty much like this. Now you want to do something about this to make it also look fairly organic. Make another crease somewhere here. And then we need to texturize this part. Just a second, I forgot to bring a sponge. And the sponges, the Donna Cato sponges are the best, but there are some these sponges that work fairly good too. So you want to do it just on here, just on this area. No, this doesn't work, but let me grab this. Oops, I picked up something. That's okay, because I'm going to color it anyway. So let's make sure once again that everything is with the creases. And now, because I did this, I can come and extend some of these creases. This is not well focused. Just a second. Perfect. Hi, Joan. And kind of bring them all the way here. Why I chose white? Because you can do a lot more color effects on the white. You know. But as I said, you want it to be very creased and very tripod-like looking. And now you can get a little bit more aggressive on the end. And actually even taper it more. And one other thing that you can do here is to grab a brush here and use the end of a paintbrush and then continue with the so we got a nice shaped, very organic-y. No, I did not stab my finger. Where did you get me stabbing my finger from? I did not stab my finger. Not yet, at least. Okay, and it's up to you, but in this case, I really want to do my hole already. So I first get my point, but one of the tricks when you don't want your clay to push in, so you get first your bearings where you want your hole to be, but then don't simply push and twist. Do a motion like this as you push in, because that way you'll just enlarge the hole without getting the, see how my clay did not get pushed in at all. And then you find the other end where it came out and do the same thing. And you can enlarge it as much as you want. And I'm going to enlarge it quite a bit because I'm planning on using, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use twine, yarn, suede, or something. Yeah, probably. Where's my black? Oh, yeah, it's black clay. I worked with the clay inlay, and there were some spots of very sticky, soft black clay around here. And that's the hardest to see on this table. Okay, so this one is ready to be baked. So this is one way you can make a pod. Now, let us make another thing. Let's make a few hollow pods. I'm gonna put this on the side for a little bit. And you get toilet paper. Bonjour, Vero. Hi, Janica. Hi, Caroline. Okay, so I'm going to make a few pods. This is too big. And these, if you want them to keep their shape even better, you can actually wet the paper and then roll it in a bowl or in a, but you want toilet paper, you don't want paper towels because it's much softer and it will hold its shape much better. And I'm going again to get a little bit of this white clay, and I'm going to get it through the pasta machine on a more thinner setting though. And we'll make several pods. We'll make white colored pods as well as translucent. And there are many ways to make pods, hollow pods. And I've shown you this before. So this is on a, let me see, I think it's a 7. Yeah, it's a 7 on the makings. And you don't, again, you don't have to be all worried about it being super perfect. And you leave it on one end like this, the other end you close it. Gonna just use this paintbrush to fill this in. And I'm going to move it like this to round it up. And then, of course, you can, I cannot find my itty-bitty cane bender, but that's why I'm using this. So I'm gonna find where I put it together, and I'm going to get it all nice and flattened out so I don't get folding creases. And then I'm going to start kind of closing it here, but not entirely. Just getting it. Hi, Silver. Thank you. I'm not too bad considering. As I said, I feel a little bit like, as I said this morning, I feel like I took a ton of Benadryl for flu symptoms, if that makes sense. It's just, lack of sleep. Okay, so we can go right now, and if you want, you can do some more texturing on this. So let's give it a little bit of more natural looking. And then another thing that you want to do now, because once it's baked, it's going to be much harder to handle. Yeah, but the tiniest broke, but I had another one. I mean, the next one in size. And still, it broke in like 2/3 and 1/3, so the 2/3 is still usable. I cannot find it. So I'm going to make me a hole here. Now remember, you can do this like this, but then another thing that you can do, let me put this aside too. Another thing that you can do is let's grab another color. We can grab a red. Make a little bead with the red. And then we can take a little piece of toilet paper. And then we get another, we get a new one. We can get another piece of the white. Wrap it around here. And this way, when the bead is baked, remember, for this kind of stuff, you, after everything is baked, you put them in water. And yeah, the larger, she doesn't make the larger one because she told me when she tried to order them large, the price kind of tripled for the largest ones. So she said better not, because nobody's going to pay that much for them. So that's why now you only have the middle and the smaller, and the large are still the old ones. But I really love them, the square pairs. Yeah, I just got me a new as well. So I'm going to make another pod. Let me break the ends here. And once again, I'm gonna use a... Where's my paintbrush? Oh, I lost that paintbrush. Don't push too hard though, because remember you have a little bead in there. You don't want it to get too deformed. And then I think I talked about this. For applicators, go to your Family Dollar store, Big Lots if you have, even Walmart, and just buy those little sets of cosmetic paint brushes, because they're not paint brushes, because they are the softest thing possible, and they are beautiful for using for mica powders and all kinds of stuff. And you don't pay a ton of money for that. So I'm again kind of leveling this up nicely. And even if it folds like this, all it's going to do is to just give it more organic look. And again, this time I'm going to trim it. And give it again a little bit of a squeeze here. Yeah, the old ones were, the largest one was 1 inch, and then you had a medium and then a small. Now you only have a medium and a small. Okay, and let's texturize it. Because see, once this is baked and I put it in water and the toilet paper starts dissolving, we're gonna have a little bead in there. That's going to be all by itself. But this one I'm not going to poke a hole here. This one I'm going to just glue it on something. And I said, let me texturize this. Okay. Let me go put these in the oven real quick and I'll be right back. And yeah, place them in the oven also on toilet paper. Now, for the next type of pod, Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to bring something else. Just a second. Yeah, I forgot that I was completely out of aluminum foil here. So for the next one, I'm gonna go with a little bit thicker, and I showed this before in a tutorial, but we are still going to. Okay, for the next one, we're gonna make Hershey Kisses. Again, pause. So, first we want to get a ball of toilet paper. And then, buy silver. You can watch this in replay. Okay, let me say a little bit in French also. Donc, tous ces petites... maybe Cecile can help me here because I don't remember how to say pod in French. Tout ce que vous voyez que j'utilise de papier de toilette, après que la pièce est cuite, vous la mettez dans l'eau et le papier va se dissoudre et vous allez l'enlever. Donc, vous aurez des pièces qui sont sans rien en dedans. So, you make first a ball. And this is a little bit too big, but going to be okay. And then you pretty much wrap it like a Hershey kiss. And you want to make it as round as possible because the clay will go in between any of these folds. So you pretty much want to make it as flat as possible here. And as I said, this is a little bit too much. So I'm gonna, but you want this because you want to be able to, once it's baked, you want to be able to open this and put it in water, and then as the paper starts dissolving, you can start pulling it out with a crochet or something. So after which you wrap your Hershey Kiss and remember, you tell the clay what it's supposed to do. The clay doesn't tell you what it's supposed to do. And again, I'm going to use this to get it rounded up. And these ones, you can leave them flat like this, or you can texturize them. It's completely up to you how you want to deal with them. But you're going to go fairly close to the opening and then cut the end. And you can make them rounder with a smaller opening. It's entirely up to you how you want to create these. And as I said, there are many ways of making hollow beads like this. And what you want to do here is, again, to make it look a little bit plant-like. So make sure that it's not cut straight and all that, because that's not how organic stuff is. And also make sure that you have enough, here it's a little too thick, pressed cotton. Yeah, those would be good. You can do that too. Because as it gets wet, you get to pull it out thread by thread. And on these ones, I'm gonna do a double texturing. I'm going to use first the sponge a little bit, and then I'm gonna also use the owl. Texture. And again, I'm going to make a hole here. So we want to be able to attach it, right? So this would be another one. Now, let's switch to black clay. And let's make a different type of pod. And this other kind of pod, you can make it in two ways, and I'll show you both ways. For this one, you need a bowl stylus or the end of a paintbrush. That would work as well. This is more like a half of a pod. I don't know how to. Oh, yeah. Anything that's polymer clay, beads, whatever, he's going to be there. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit larger so you can see it better. And it's fine to make it larger. It's absolutely fine to make it larger. So first I'm going to cut one circle, and then I'm going to go get my next one, because I don't know why I brought only one. And I'm going to cut a second circle. And not only that, but I'll show you, because you can do the same kind of stuff in a different shape. So I'm going to cut. I'm not going to use this big one. This is the water lily cutter. You can find it at PolyClay Play. So now I can turn it a little bit brighter, can't I? So you can see better. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to first cut one. It's not the largest, it's the second largest. And then I'm gonna use the next one. Alrighty. Now, pay attention, because this one is a little tricky, but it makes beautiful, beautiful, beautiful results. And of course, I went and I didn't bring any stuff to put it up to bake. Just a second again. Yeah, and I'm finally starting to see the end of my sanding journey. I'll show you out. I intend to make an eye candy video soon with a whole bunch of faux gemstones. Okay, so let's grab first this one. And then I'm going to get this one. And I'm going to cut it in 4. And on this one, there are also a lot of, and on this, before I forget, on this, you can do it with everything raw, but you can also first bake the base. Let me put them here so we can see better what we are doing. And I'm gonna grab the itty bitty glues. These are, I don't know, like $2, $3 at PolyClay. And going first. Here you have to pay attention on how you do the, yes, it does, how you do the holes. So, and with these you always need a toothpick. Okay. And select which of them you're going to use to start with. This is too big. This is too small. It should be okay. And you can make them with different colors, or you can place them just like this. And then use the color on top, and I'll show you in a minute how. But as I said, there's two ways of making this. Remember, this is a very squishy black. I didn't place it right here. I didn't see well. Yeah, you can do that too. I actually found a really neat find at Goodwill this past week. When I go next in the kitchen, I'll bring it to show you. And see, right now it looks very geometrical, very non-organic, not anything of what you'd think we want to do. But this will change here in a second. First, you want to grab your thingy here and give it a little bit of rounding. Let me refocus. Okay. And then grab a and then your next move is to grab a ball stylus that should be small enough to go in here and then work these holes a little bit. Now you'd ask, why did I do the cutting? Because that's how you can make sure that you don't do the whole thing messed up. Let me use this. And then you come in and you do again the quarters. And this time you cut it again. Make sure everything is okay. You can get it one more time. Flatten out on the edges. Maybe even use the sharp part of the cutter. That's more advisable. Okay, let me see what Nemo is saying. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Hi, Catherine. Well, yeah, that can be horrible. Hi, Rosanna. Hi, Colleen. Okay, so I think I'm caught up. And then I'm going to bring this once again here. And then once again, you will use your and on this one, you will have to make a backing and either put jump rings or little screws. And let's grab a little bit of mica. Some antique copper should do the trick. And in this one, it's actually really neat if you mix a little bit of ground cinnamon. It's going to look so much nicer. Actually, I can use also the artisan powders. This is not bright enough. Hold on, let me grab the artisan powders and another mica. Yeah, let's use this sage. This is from American Body Art. If you remember, a couple years ago, I did a review on them. They have some wonderful mica colors. That's going to show it more. And of course, you can combine two different colors. I would suggest that you combine a brown and a green. Yeah, it does look like an Oreo a little bit, doesn't it? But it's supposed to be a pod. Sorry. Okay, let's do the other way. And for this, you can use the good old Scalpy mold. Yeah, I had chocolate ice cream for breakfast because I was too tired to cook anything. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller this time. So you can use whatever round little domed shape you have, and even an oval one if you want. And of course, your next move is to poke it. As this time, let's make a pokey right in the middle. Did it? Where's my toothpick? Did you hear it? It's a Kellogg. What idea? I want to know the idea. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome with the resin pour. So you make one big in the middle or smaller one in the middle, and then you make a whole bunch all around. But then your next move is to clean your doodle. Because if these get dry inside, they're a pain. Okay. Then you grab the ball stylus and you start giving it all kinds of pokies. And first make with the larger one some pokies. Larger, larger than the smallest. I mean, not super large. And it doesn't have to be perfectly round because it's organic-y. Okay. The sad face, huh? And then you start giving it a lot of smaller ones. I don't know, can you see what I'm doing here? Let me try and zoom again. There we go, much better. And now you see it doesn't look so much like an Oreo when you actually light it. Don't keep it in too much dark. And then, of course, we're gonna use again and these bristles are stiffer than the other ones. Now, let's see what happens when we use a non-mica powder. And I'm gonna just grab, you can do this with chalk pastels, but I'm going to grab the artisan powder because they are easier to use. Or actually, I can get the pan pastel. Yeah, let me grab the pan pastels. And thank you, Robbie, for getting them for me. So let's get first some ochre. which is a good color for a organic thing. And let's grab some here too. Then close it properly. And let's do some green. Some red. I know it sounds weird to put all these colors on it, but you'll see when I start blending, it's going to look just perfect. Let me get some red on this one too. You see how it comes together now and it looks organic. It doesn't look anymore like an Oreo. No one black. Let's get a little bit of white. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I need expert advice. And now we are going to simply do some blending. And if necessary, come back on it and you can use a brush. If necessary, you can come back on it and reinforce some of the colors. I want to do a little bit more of this. And I'll probably want to add some more ochre and yellow. Oh yeah, those cats, they always have to back talk. Always, always. And then when you get cats who have to be with you all the time, like my little Seamus, who's mama's boy. Now, I'm not sure if I told you about the artisan powders. Why I'm so stoked about them is because they don't need whatchamacallit, sealing. Okay, so we got, let me try and get this as close as I can focus it. So this is the all organic look. You see what's the whole effect. I don't know. I think it's the light, but they don't look like metal. They look like shriveled, I don't know, shriveled somethings. Not necessarily metal. Shriveled moldy stuff. I don't know. Okay. Okay, get minimized. Uh, it's up to you. As I said, I'm going to show you various shapes and various techniques, and then you can mix and match. You can make them larger, you can make them smaller, you can make them bead style, and actually let's make an actual bead. All right. And let's use some scrap clay that we can wrap. And I'm going to make a bead wrapped in black and a bead wrapped in white. Yeah, as I said, I'm just showing you some shapes and some patterns and techniques to obtain an organic plant-like whatever look. Oh no, this one needs to go. There we go. Okay, so first get a bead and then we'll wrap it. And in this, you don't have, once again, you don't have to be super precise, super anything. You can go however you want. Just make sure that your bead is fully covered. Welcome back. Okay, so I got the beady thing. And then once again, I'm going to get the, this is the tiniest, and I need the one that's a little bigger. And let's pokey it. Now, if you want to go up a notch, what I suggest that you do you, any of you does remember the, I call them the holy earrings. I made a pair of earrings, I think it was a couple years ago, that were on a gradient from white to red. And then I covered that gradient with the white to red, vice versa. And then I poked holes because I first baked the base and then I put the raw uh, inverted gradient and I poked holes. So if you want to make something even up higher notch, first wrap the bead in one color, bake it, and then get the doodles, wrap it in another color, and then poke holes and remove the, and then do this, because that way you'll have a completely different color showing through. And no, you don't need it to be perfectly round. And as you can see, I got first the next to smallest ball stylus. Now we are making a seed. Okay, this is going to look like a seed of some sort. And this time I'm going to use the artisan powders so I can show you various, media and how you can use it. And again, in all this organic thing, this brush will be absolutely unmatchable. And of course, you can still use the texture sponge. And let me grab the, so I guess if we use, let's use some French sage. And then there was the rosewood. That's really looking good. And the top. because this should give it a really nice, where's my bead here? So let's put some rosewood first. Bye, Leah. Hi, Carmen. How's stuff in Bucharest? Yes, you can make all kinds of plant-like earrings and things. Yeah, I will make probably some separate tutorials, but I just thought that you'd enjoy learning various elements and then putting them together how you want them. It's blah. Bucharest is blah. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it can be, but it's also pretty in spring when everything is in bloom and you don't have tornadoes like here. Right. Oh, a martini. Get this back. And get these. And there we go. Let me get it focused so you can see it on in all its beauty. See? And then again, I'm going to poke a hole in it ahead of time. And using the same thing, first I'm getting my bearings, and then I'm going to and there we go. Yeah. Okay. And before anything, because I've been up for an hour and a half, I am awesome. Let me get these to the side. And I will show you one more effect. And the next will be next Sunday. We'll have a lot of fun, I promise you. All right, for this one, I'm going to first wipe my hands because I got all kinds of towels on me. Maybe I should wait for this one for next Sunday because this one requires drying. Yeah, let me go grab the ones from the oven first, and then I'll do the other effect next Sunday. Okay, I'm grabbing just this because the other two need to be in water for a while. And first of all, let's give it some, let's work on this, not to make messes. And let's give it some color of sorts. So I'm gonna use this English lace. You can use anything that's yellowish, but a more a softer, you know, not a pure yellow. And that's what I would suggest. So actually, let me grab this large one. I forgot the paintbrush is in the water, and now it got a little bit distorted. I'll have to wash it and let it dry properly. And the other nice thing about the artisan powders, and I said before when I did the review and the how-to with them, that you can actually mix them with water and use them as a watercolor. But again, once they get baked, oops, sorry, I lost my headphones. The other thing I was saying, the other thing that I said in a previous tutorial about the artisan powders, that they can also be mixed with a little bit of water, and you can use them pretty much like a watercolor. But the good thing is that they bond really nicely. So they don't need a lot of baking, which is fabulous. So let's go with this. I'm gonna use this. It can be washed very easily. Scallops. What would be delicious fried? Oh, it looks like an okra, doesn't it? A little bit. I'm gonna use it on this edge and all over to get the some of the color in the recesses. And then I'm going to use a little bit on this other edge. Okay. Just make sure that it goes all the way in. Now let's use a little bit of the rosewood. And again, you can use acrylic paints. I'm just trying to show you various ways of doing stuff. Acrylic resin water-based? I'm not sure that there is a water-based resin. Resin, generally speaking, is more epoxy-ish. Okay, so I'm bringing this down a little bit and also more watered. And I'm going to wipe off the bottom so that I'll get most of it in the recesses, not on. But see how strong the artisan powder colors are? Yes, it will. That's why I wanted to use this specific one. And let me give it a little bit of color in here as well. And if you find that there's too much color, simply add a little bit of water and wipe it again. And now let's add just a pinch of green to give it even more organic look. And you've noticed that I mostly worked with yellow, ochre, rusty, soft, pale green. The Franco Garcia memory hardware powders, artisan powders, which don't really require sealing, as they do. And you can apply them as a powder on raw clay and as mix them with water to get a liquid color. And then I'll show you another media with which you can bring this whole thing up like 4 notches. If you remember, I did a while ago a pair of dragon claw earrings. That's how I call them. Yes, it is different. It is different. You can find them at PolyClay. And those were the silk acrylic glazes, which are absolutely fabulous. The only problem is, and you'll find them in my Amazon influencer store, the only problem is that the artist who makes them is not very consistent when it comes to having the same colors available all the time. So you might buy a color and then you cannot find it. The good part, though, is that there are a lot of colors that are similar. And not only that, they are all fabulous. So, well, I'm trying to find the green. I think I have a green. What do you know? I don't have a green in this. Amazing. Oh well. Oh, I have a key lime. Never mind. That's good. Alrighty. And these are glazes. So uh, they can be used as a varnish, and they are transparent. And the colors, for example, see, this one is called Autumn Leaf. Look at this gorgeousness. This one is called Love Struck. They have iridescence and all that. This is Yellow Rose. And this is Key Lime. Yes, it is very good. And the pan pastels are pretty good at sticking to raw clay and not moving much after that. But these ones are even better when it comes to what we call it, bonding. I mean, they even stick to that white amazing resin. Yes, all the ones that I've tried are transparent, so that wasn't a problem. And if you go look to that dragon claw earrings, I think I used the yellow rose and the lobstruck. Not don't remember about the autumn leaf if I used it. So let's get first some key lime on them. And this is going to make it like luxury organic, just because it's so fabulous. And you only need a little bit. So these will go a long way. And if you want the iridescence to be stronger, you'll have to apply 2 or 3 layers. But on what website? You're talking about the Franco Garcia? Yes, that's what I've been applying them on cooked clay. They work both on raw and on cooked. Stamperia, I don't know. I didn't try those. I'll have to look into that. Okay, now let's do the autumn leaf. No, let's do first the yellow. Need to. This one is getting dry. And see, I'm blending it a little bit. Then I'm going to do the autumn leaf for the upper part of this and for the little thingy. Gilding waxes. Thank you. But yeah, and it's a good idea to stir them from time to time because you might not get all the beautiful stuff. And by the way, the lady who makes these also makes pouring acrylic. She's a pouring acrylics artist, actually, and she does resin stuff as well. And these work with resin also. Okay, I made a mess. I made a mess. I made a mess. Hey, what's new about that? Okay, I don't want all this color here, so I'm going to lift some. And blend it. And as I said, I want a little bit on this end. And the other thing, once you're done, remember that you have white underneath. So if you want any kind of white highlight, all you have to do is to sand a little bit. I got them on in the Amazon influencer store in the paints. Let me get you the link. But I kind of need to change them all the time because, as I said, you don't always find the same colors, but they are all beautiful, so it doesn't really matter. I try to keep updated with them. I see, should be towards the art alchemy. No, I don't have the silks here. Hold on, give me just a second. It's Leslie something. Oh. It's color art. Okay, and she has sales from time to time, so that's also an awesome thing. No, Trish doesn't carry them. With Trish, you can get the art alchemy that are also beautiful, you know, and you can find them in the paints on my Amazon influencer store that are also beautiful. I just don't have as many as I have the silks. And here are the art alchemy. You can find them in there. Okay, so let's do some love struck to get some red on that little cap. Love struck is one of my most favorite of the silks. Okay, let's try not to get too much like last time. And I'm going to put it just on the little cap here. And as I said, you're getting a lot of extra oomph from this. And once I'm kinda done, I'm gonna have to get this and wash it properly. I'm going to go back in a little bit and lift a little bit of this. So you just wet your paintbrush and dry it a little bit and go back in and lift some of the color. Let me see if I lost my screen. And you can even go, you know, if you want to do it faster. and you don't mind a lot of. And let me lift a pinch of the red because I don't want all that red there. And I will do a close up so you can see better what's going on there and see how organic it all looks. But you can make all kinds of, and of course you can do different shapes and all that. And next time I'll show you, I will use paints and a lot of acrylics and to show you how to make other beautiful organic shapes, this time on focals and regular cabochons. Okay, let me focus it. There you go. A fully organic looking stuff. So yeah, of course you won't be making just one. You can just make a whole bunch of them and then um, you know, color several of them. But yeah, you can call it whatever. To me, it looks more like an okra or like a dried hibiscus flower, pretty much. See, that is the petals because the hibiscus flower, when it dries out, it goes like this. So you can do all kinds of stuff. And so next time we'll do some cell stuff, planty stuff, and maybe even some fungi and lichen and stuff. But I've been on for almost 2 hours and I think I'm gonna go and take a nap. And we'll do more organic stuff. And I need to put these other ones to bake. So thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you next Sunday. And hopefully, we won't have any more scares of bad weather here. And as I said, we'll make a full necklace using all kinds of pieces already, all these pieces that we've already made. So, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being my subscribers and my followers and being here for me all the time. Thank you. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And if I'll feel good and everything is okay, who knows, I might jump for another line live. But I'll keep trying to work on the tutorials after I rest. So, hugs everybody and have a great weekend. Happy claying.